Bill Gates has finally admitted that climate doomerism is a mistake, after years of saying stuff like this.
The world emits over 51 billion tons of greenhouse gases. And as we keep doing that, the consequences for human life will be catastrophic. And time is running out.
Bill Gates now says this: climate change will not lead to humanity's demise. People will be able to live and thrive in most places on Earth for the foreseeable future. Climate realists like Judith Curry, Steve Koonin, Michael Schellenberger, Alex Epstein, Roger Pike Jr., and Bjorn Lomborg have been saying this exact thing for years: that climate change is not an existential threat, and that the singular obsession with carbon emissions has distracted us from solving real problems. But those scientists and writers were ostracized. They were censored on social media, protested, and in some cases, pushed out of their jobs. They were mocked as climate deniers for saying the same thing Bill Gates is finally admitting today. I'm glad Bill Gates has come around to common sense. Yes, the planet is warming, but it's not the biggest problem we face, and it's something humans are more than capable of adapting to. We've already adapted to 1.3 degrees of warming over the past 150 years, a period that also happens to be the most prosperous and productive time in human history. I welcome this shift to common sense, even though the climate doomerism Gates helped create has fueled a mental health crisis among young people. Half of young people polled by Lancet say they felt sad, anxious, angry, and helpless because of climate change. A 2025 study found that 1 in 5 young people in the U.S. were afraid to have children because of climate fears. I welcome this shift from Gates, even though for decades developing countries in Africa have been forced to jump through absurd hoops to meet the West's net zero goals, when we know that developing with fossil fuels is cheaper, faster, and more reliable than the renewable projects we pressured them to build to make ourselves feel virtuous. Meanwhile, the West still gets 80% of its energy from fossil fuels. Now Gates says this is a chance to refocus on the metric that should count even more than emissions and temperature change: improving lives. And Bill says we should now focus our international resources on addressing poverty and disease. And I agree. But if he's serious about making things better, it should start with an apology tour. Apologize to the scientists who were punished for speaking the truth. Apologize to the young people who sacrificed their futures because of the fear you helped spread. And apologize to the developing countries that were forced to stay poor, chasing green technologies that don't even work.